Final Destination Bloodlines is the 6th installment in the Final Destination franchise. Haunted by a violent recurring nightmare, college student Stephanie heads home to track down the one person who might be able to break the cycle and save her family from the grisly demise that inevitably awaits them all. Going into Final Destination Bloodlines, I can't lie, I was actually pretty excited. The marketing has actually been surprisingly good. The one Final Destination movie I have seen, which is the first one, is good fun. I was also intrigued about the involvement of Jon Watts, who directed the recent live-action Spider-Man movies. He's a story writer and a producer here. Now, firstly, let's get into the reason everyone goes into these movies, the kills. I've got to say, they are extremely creative, and they're also incredibly well built up to.
Hello, it's Billy, who is currently editing the video right now. I was trying to explain a point and I completely fumbled it, so I'm going to try and re-explain it. So there's absolutely tension in the scenes leading up to a kill in which they're going to happen. But the film also really cleverly sets up kills in multiple scenes before they actually happen. So yeah, sorry about this little interruption, but I completely messed up the actual explanation when I recorded the video. So back to Billy explaining the rest of the point.
You don't actually know it's building up to a kill until it actually happens in a couple of scenes later. They're surprisingly well structured. So yeah, if you're a Final Destination fan and you're going into these movies for the kills, I don't think there's any way you'll be disappointed with that aspect of it. However, what I didn't expect with Final Destination Bloodlines is how compelling the story would be. The film takes its time to set up the characters and this narrative. I didn't expect there to be so much lore here, but you can tell everything was thought out really thoroughly. The opening scene in particular does an amazing job with this. In a sense, it really gives you a taste of what's to come later, because it has the kills and it has the tension, but it also gets you attached to the characters. Throughout this film, I found myself rooting for the characters and on the edge of my seat, not knowing what was going to happen to who. Expectation is something the screenplay does a really great job with. This film is constantly ahead of the audience. The filmmakers know what you're thinking at any given moment, but there are so many times where they would just throw a complete curveball. In this film, there were multiple occasions where I was just like, okay, it's obvious this is going to happen to this character, and then the film throws in a complete plot twist or goes in a different direction. And because of all that, the pacing in Final Destination Bloodlines is mostly excellent. I do just have a couple of small issues with this film. Firstly, I do think there are some confusing moments in the first act that could have been fleshed out a little more and could have just gone into a bit more depth to kind of clarify a few things. Also, the third act is really fun, but it does feel a bit rushed. You can tell when the story is coming to its end, it's just like, oh, okay, that's it. I think the film could have done with an extra 5 to 10 minutes towards the end to really amp up the tension even more. Overall, I had an absolute blast with Final Destination Bloodlines. It's fun, it's well written, it's generally really well made. If I had to describe this movie, I would say it's Knives Out meets the recent Scream movies. It gave me Knives Out vibes in the sense it's to do with a family and murder within that family, but it also gave me recent Scream movie vibes because it feels like an updated version of a horror movie franchise that is done really effectively and feels like it has a reason to exist. Guys, go out and support this movie. It's a ton of fun. I'm going to give Final Destination Bloodlines an A-. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. You guys are awesome. Blu-ray Billy, logging off.